Hey guys, thanks for joining me this time. This is a short video for those who are deciding between starting off either in stock market investing or real estate market investing. I find that there are some polarizing views out there that are just kind of BS from both sides of the camp, and just wanted to unpack that a little bit for you guys. For when you start your investing journey, I would like you to hopefully start off on the right foot without any biases and look at both camps objectively. If you're deciding between the two, the best answer to choose from a level-headed perspective is to choose the one that you're most interested in, the one that actually piques your curiosity most. Now, I started off in the real estate investment world and have been doing it for a number of years. I have a few properties located across the United States that I rent that have been very good to me. But I also have stock accounts that actually augment my total investment portfolio. I have found that whatever camp you choose, whether it's stock investing or real estate investing, that any person has a good chance of succeeding in any endeavor if that person is actually genuinely interested, curious, or passionate about the topic he's studying. If it's fun and interesting to you, I think the odds of you succeeding and being very successful at it increase tenfold. I've learned over the years that I pretty much suck at most everything I hate to do. And I became actually quite good at the things that never seemed like work to me. In my investment career, I've met plenty of people, plenty of multimillionaires that killed it in both fields, whether it's real estate or the stock market. And yet at the same time, it seems like each camp poo-poos the other in terms of which one is better. Attending enough real estate investment seminars over the years, I've noticed that real estate investors always look down on the stock market, thinking that the ups and downs of stocks make their stomach churn. They're also criticizing corporations' transparency, reporting inaccurate numbers for their quarterly earnings, with examples like Enron and most recently China's Luckin Coffee debacle that lost investors a bunch of money. Now, on the flip side, stock market investors seem to poo-poo real estate investing for a number of reasons, citing the highly illiquid nature of selling a property. They talk about the 30 to 45 day window or timeline to sell a property, or they're complaining about the headaches of getting calls from problem tenants, complaining about their toilets, or complaining about their neighbor's noise situation in the middle of the night. And they also criticize the annoyance and cost of the general upkeep of the property during your ownership. Now, I also had a financial advisor who managed a number of my accounts over the years give a little bit of a stink eye to friends and clients who mentioned purchasing real estate as an investment. I think part of it was that having his clients invest their dollars in real estate would actually take away what they would invest with his firm. So in essence, it would not benefit him as a financial advisor. So in short, he wouldn't get paid for a percentage of those investable dollars. I think it's important to recognize and be aware that when you're listening to someone's advice, take into account from the perspective that they are speaking. A lot of the times, their agenda might be different than yours. Now, whether you're a stock market investor looking down on real estate or vice versa, I think each camp has their valid points. The bad things each camp says of the other are actually true to a certain extent. There's always pros and cons, but isn't there always pros and cons to everything in life? I mean, take for example, being in a relationship, which usually means that you can't date other people while you're in the relationship. You give up variety for hopefully something deeper. If you're single, you might have variety and exciting nights, but you also might get lonely at times when you don't have a date during the weekends. I guess what I am saying is don't let each camp soil your view of the other. because I can tell you there are very successful people in both kinds of investing. I know because I've met them over the years and I've talked to them in depth about it. You could be a success in either. Whichever you guys decide to choose or whichever you guys decide to start off with, I think education is important so you can mitigate the risks out there and be successful at the endeavor that you're choosing. I think it's important to clarify some of the things each camp says that I mentioned above. Looking at it from a real estate investor's perspective, they say that the ups and downs of the stock market is a stomach-churning experience, which is true if you're just looking at the day-to-day numbers. But having a well-diversified portfolio of stocks or index funds and investing for the long term, which most people do, the day-to-day fluctuations are really irrelevant and you should not get caught up in it. It's just the gyrations of the market. I remember what Warren Buffett's mentor Benjamin Graham's quoted, and he said, in the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine. What I think he meant by that was that to say, don't get caught up in the motions of the day in the market. In the end, if you invest in good companies, the stock shares eventually rise because the company has increased their intrinsic value by producing good products that actually people buy. And when you cash in your stocks, after owning them for a long time, you'll hopefully find a big bag of money at the very end. And really, who can deny the success of Warren Buffett, who has spent his lifetime investing in the stock market and buying good companies? Now, taking the flip side and looking at it from the stock market investor's perspective on poo-pooing real estate, now they say that it's illiquid and actually takes a long time to sell, which is very true, but that actually might be a good thing because it prevents you from making very rash decisions. Now, you can sell a stock in seconds by the push of a button on your investing platform. But with real estate, the lengthy time it takes to sell will actually make you stop to think if you're making a good decision. Also, stock market investors complain about real estate with all its problem tenants and upkeep of owning the property, which is actually can be very true. There's always horror stories, but you can avoid most of that by being a good landlord that fixes things immediately. You can screen for good tenants that actually pay their rent on time, that actually keep the property in good condition. From my experience, there are really good people, good tenants out there that will take care of your property. Now, maybe pay a property manager to manage it for you so you don't have to take the day-to-day calls. Bake it into the numbers. Usually, from my experience, when I hear of people complaining and having headaches of owning real estate, it's a lot of the times it's kind of their fault. It's the landlord's lack of screening for tenants correctly. And it's the owner's neglect for deferred maintenance. They don't upkeep the property in a timely manner. It's not that real estate investing always comes with these inherent headaches and annoyances. So next, I would like to delve into the benefits and traits of each and kind of like dig a little bit deeper to kind of unpeel that. So with real estate investing, you can buy with leverage, meaning you usually put 20% down and take a loan out to cover the rest to purchase the property. To give you a very simple example, and I know there's other costs involved, say you want to buy a $100,000 property. You put 20% down, which is $20,000, and you borrow $80,000. Now, if the property goes up in value by 5% in the first year, you've just earned a 20% return due to the leverage. Another benefit by owning real estate is that you can depreciate the property over 27 plus years on your yearly taxes by offsetting and limiting the taxes you pay for the rent money you collect, which is a major win that stock investing just does not have. Thirdly, a rental property collects rent every month, so you get cash flow. So renters, in essence, are actually paying off your loan and actually buying the property for you in the long run. So what are the benefits of stock market investing? Well, for one, your investments are highly liquid, meaning that at the push of a button, you can sell them easily. I think this is good and bad. Good that if you need the money right away, you can get it quickly by selling the stock or index fund or whatever. Bad in the sense that I think it's just too easy to sell, that you can get out of it on a whim or a feeling, which makes you more trigger happy. I had a good friend who told me the story that he bought $19,000 worth of Tesla stock a long time ago during their beginning years. And that decision actually was seared into his memory in the sense that it was a great learning lesson. He regretted selling it, those $19,000 worth of stock, because those shares today would be worth $250,000. I think what contributed to making this mistake, besides bad advice from his friends, was that it was just too easy to sell. He just pushed a button on the stock and poof, it was gone. He was cashed out. A great thing about buying shares in a company is that when you have shares, you're actually owning a part of that company. With your ownership, you are actually leveraging the power of their brand, their market dominance. Think of buying Apple shares a long time ago when Steve Jobs took over that company for a second time. Or Amazon shares way back in the burgeoning stages. It's a powerful way to invest. So there are pros and cons, good things and bad things, and risks and rewards to each investing camp. But I truly believe that whether you're investing in the stock market or investing in real estate, they are very viable ways to financial success. I had a really good teacher enlighten me about investing once, a long time ago when I took his course. He taught the financial freedom course that was just awesome. It was just awesome. He said that every dollar is a soldier, an employee. It's your duty that they be kicked out into the world to work hard for you so they can bring you back a return. He then asked us a question of how much our banks were giving us for the dollars that were in our accounts, to which a lot of us muttered 1%, if that. And he said and responded that that was lazy money. That dollar is sitting on its ass and doing nothing. Make it go out and work for you so you can have a better life, a more freer life with more choices. My dad was a perfect example of not taking sides in the real estate versus stock market debate. He did what made common sense to him. His main thing was stock market investing. I think that was his forte and what he gravitated to in the beginning of his career. Yet, I also know that he bought properties and some land. So the long and short of it is that everyone's different, and invest in things that you most gravitate to, that actually sparks your interest, your curiosity, that you think is fun and worthy. As I said, if there's a genuine interest and curiosity and passion for it, you will most likely be successful in that endeavor, whether it be real estate or stocks or any hobby. So I hope this video gives you guys a little clarification on the stock market versus real estate investing debate. If you like this video, please subscribe. There are more videos on investing coming. It's your duty to yourselves to create a better life for yourselves, and I wish you the best of luck.